yes, we see Neelix line up into his grid site in the background, and we wait for the customary delay before they start, as they all load in, and we'll wait for the 5 red lights to come on, and we are still waiting and waiting and waiting.
And
it was Jess was the winner last time out. Can he repeat it again? As the 5 red lights are now coming on ahead of the drivers, and it's a long wait, but we are underway here in Azerbaijan. Looks like Lofty's got a good start on the inside and is going to be side by side, as Gareth has had a poor one. And looks like the McLaren. Oh, they're all wide. Oh, there's damage for Lofty.
Oh, that's
I think that's Baggy Fan going to try and squeeze up on the inside, and he's already up into second place. And is he going to try and go up into the lead? We'll have to wait and see. Hyper's round the outside, and he's
there's a
still
massive
going. There's a massive crash in the
word,
background.
it's absolute chaos.
There's that. Oh my word! There's a massive
it's
crash. It's a
Piccadilly
BSC and it's a car park.
Night. My word, what is that?
I'm not sure what is going on. Everyone's got 5-second time penalties.
Only a VSC. Only a VSC.
Only a VSC for an absolute car park. Yes, that happened, folks. It is, and so Baggy Fan actually lost out to Dodgy in the end as well. As they come through the first sector, it is Lofty from Hypers, from Dodgy, from Baggy Fan, from Stevo and Maxwell in the top 6.
Good start from them.
The position changes, and they are up. Maxwell's had an absolute blinding start.
Record my point of view.
P13 on the grid.
Mental.
Well, I'm not quite sure what caused that crash at the back, but it's kind of all went
back underway.
Upside down. But we're underway once again, and yeah, that happened. But hopefully it's much cleaner.
Oh, already
a yellow flag at the castle.
Someone's going very slowly. It's Dolphin, who has no wing.
Oh, Dolphin. Oh my word, everyone's banging the walls. It's just like...
Oh, it's chaos.
It's like Wreckfest in on the Game Pass at the moment. And yeah, well, ignore that, but we're about to complete the first lap as Charlie and Jay Geddes side by side. There's gaps already as Lofty is made the position he needs. Apparently Baggy Fan has made up positions as the time and sheets go all out of shape once again. Apparently we're on lap 3, but we're not. We're on lap 2. As yeah, I expect to see. Well, nobody's in the pits at the moment.
Oh, here they go. Oh, that was close there.
Oh, okay. I don't know what happened there, but there's yellow flags.
Quite a few people. It was very scrappy coming into the pits. Very scrappy indeed.
Hectic start to this race. I forgot to say Lofty does have damage still, because he had hit the wall down on the exit of turn 1 as 4 cars ran wide. I thought Baggy Fan was going to find his way in the lead of the race at one point. He must have had a nosebleed, and he's dropped back down to P4, but he's still got the full complement of his front wing at the moment, as yeah, Hypers is going to keep him honest, as the 2 McLarens absolutely flying at the moment, but the top 3 all within a second of each other at the moment, as Dodgy just watches on in the background. And yeah, we wait for Cowan to... I don't even know what we're waiting for, to be honest. It's just time the screens are absolutely upside down, round and round, as the 2 Red Bulls occupy 19th and 20th, so good start for them.
Get in there, boys. Don't you worry. I've got faith in them. I have... Oh. Scott Laney pit twice? Or is that just the timing screens going for me? So there's a... Oh no, it was. That was the timing. There was a 28-second gap. I was like, he was 17 behind that. But no, so just, well, it's a bit of a lull. Basically what happened, it was turn 2. Oh, Lemon hits the wall. There was turn 2, there was a move. I'm not sure which cars initiated it, but they blocked the entire track. And then just nobody could go through turn 2, and from there it was just absolute chaos.
Sorry to interrupt. Scott down the inside. Oh, and Maxwell kind of turns it a little bit on him. The 2 Scots going at it, and Scott's gone, and he's had to rejoin on the pit lane exit, and he has been spun round by Maxwell, and he's had to drop to P11, and he was going for a move. with Scott. It was a legitimate move, and Maxwell left him a bit of room, but there was a little bit of a squeeze, and it seemed like Maxwell didn't leave him enough room there. But I'll wait and see if anything happens after the race for that. And Maxwell stays P6, and Scott is in P11. And I'm going to go at Gareth here, as he's probably a bit frustrated at how that incident went, as Lofty seems to have gone very slow. As is Scott going to have a look? No, he's not. Oh, as Gareth locks up, and it's double lock up for Gareth, and he's struggling through on this lap in particular. But yeah, Lofty. Oh, as Dodgy hits the wall, and he's lost a lot of time there, and he's going to drop outside the DRS if he's not careful. And yeah, it seems like Hypers is going to strike while the iron is hot, as he will have the DRS. And Lofty is already weaving. Don't want to be weaving too much, Lofty, otherwise you'll not be look favourable in the eyes of the stewards. But he stays ahead for now. Hypers is late on the brakes, has to stay behind for now, as it's very close for these guys at the front. And Dodgy is just lingering there behind, as yeah, there's a lot of gaps opening up, as Gareth is quite close to the back of Colden. Is he going to go down the inside? No, he thinks better of it. And
well, there's a move on Russell, yes. Charlie. Russell going at it into turn 1. Oh, Charlie's made the move, but Russell looks like he's going to come back down the inside. Thinks of it there. Doesn't want to repeat what happened on lap 1. Probably the wise decision there. But is he going to go back at Charlie? He's thinking about it. ERS is on. DRS is open. This could lead in the crash. Ooh, tucks back in incredibly late there. And Charlie has made the move stick. Up for P11.
Neelix and Cowan going at it right at the back of the pack. These guys need a safety car if they're going to come back into this race. And well, I'm surprised there wasn't a safety car on the first lap. But as you can see, Jester, Colden, Gareth, Charlie, and
Hypers
Russell.
has lost an end plate. Hypers has lost an end plate.
Oh, he has as well. He might have lost both of them there, Rando.
He has indeed. What on earth?
No. He has lost both of them. Lofty is also missing an end plate, and I think Dodgy might have the best looking car. Who has hit the ball?
Gets out of shape. As you say,
these top three are not in the greatest of shape at the moment, and currently Sprightly is on a charge onto the back of Maxwell, and he seems to be. It's Jester, who's also got damage from probably lap 1. Sprightly has also got damage. He's on the back of Maxwell, as Hypers does pit already, as he's going to have to go for a... Well, I guess he can take hards to the end, but he'll maybe doing a 2-stop here. Depends on what tyres he goes on. I will change to the tyres.
He's on mediums and a new wing, apparently.
Mediums... Oh, no, I don't want stops. I want tyres. There we go. As Hypers drops down even further. Looks like he's going to come out behind the Haas. Maybe even behind the Williams. No, it's going to be side by side with the Haas, and just behind the Haas. As Sprightly is still watching the rear end of Maxwell, but he seems to be fairly decent at the moment. Steve-O was catching up to the back of Baggy Fan, but that promotes Baggy into a net podium place. Steve-O in a net P4. And I don't want to talk too early, but it's McLaren 4-5 at the moment. Must be one of the best results for McLaren in Division 3 so far, if they can finish it off. But there is a long way to go, and there's a lot of fast drivers behind him, as Jester is coming right up to the back of Sprightly, and they've both got damage of these two, both on the same tyres. But Jester does have a penalty.
Massive shunt against the wall.
Oh,
if his end plate wasn't broken before. Absolutely is.
It was
now.
Broken before.
That was a massive crash. My word! Surprised he didn't lose his front right top.
Yeah, I did miss that as I was on board with Jester, because I wasn't expecting anything to happen. But yeah, it seems like Dodgy, we can keep it all in one direction, is at the moment favourite to win this race. On board with Lofty, but he's not going to the pits, so he's going to carry on. Is the Haas driver? Yeah, he's got a 2-second gap. We'll wait to see on this lap.
I feel like he's going to quickly learn
as he's got
how hard it is to drive around here without a wing.
That is not Maxwell. See if I can look behind. I can't. So the game is messing up there, but Maxwell stays ahead. They're not. ERS is pretty similar from everyone. Jester got. As Jester almost hits the wall, so does Sprightly. Scott Laney picks up a 3-second time penalty, but he's down in P20 and a long way back. There's Charlie Pitts, and he is going to go onto the hard compound tyres, I assume. We'll wait and see. And Sprightly has a little dart to the inside, but has to stay behind. And yeah, Maxwell, well, had a train behind him last week for a podium, and he held on to that, and he now has a 3-car train at the moment. And is he going to provide some heroics? Dodgy is catching, and catching by a lot, as you'd expect.
He should have pit.
He definitely should have pit.
And also, he needs to be incredibly careful not to repeat how he broke his wing in the first place, because his braking distance is going to be drastically reduced. Very cautious. Oh, Dodgy hits the back of him.
He does. It's so close. Dodgy needs to be careful here, as you don't really want to go side by side with here, but he's going to back off as Dodgy got a nice helicam. As Lofty gets through there just about, goes right up against the wall, but here comes Dodgy, and I think this is going to be Lofty in the pits and Dodgy into P1, and he will go around once more for a tour of Azerbaijan. He's going to take this cautiously into pits. He needs to, and does. So that puts Dodgy up into first place, and he's Baggy is pissing as well. He's going for the early stop, and the two McLarens then up into the top 3. And I'm going to go back on board with Jester, as he's already made an overtake.
Baggy's having a wing change. That's why he's pinning this time. Wing change for Baggy fan.
Yeah, I think as Hypers as a 44-1. I think that's probably wise, because there's a lot of people who
he's just lost his wing. Everyone I go on to seems to be losing their
who just lost
wings.
their wing.
Sprightly just lost it on the inside curve of turn 2. Oh dearie me.
He already had an M plate damage, I think. Did
he's made it a lot worse.
Sprightly?
Yeah, he's just smashed.
Yeah, he has made it a lot worse. Similar, he's got no M plates. There's Gareth on the softs, obviously another first wing damage, but Dodgy leads by 13.4 seconds to 13.5 seconds now to Stevo, and Maxwell 2.5 seconds behind Stevo at the moment. And yeah, Hypers sets the fastest lap, but he is going to have to stop again. It's yellow flag in sector 2, and Sprightly has crashed, and he is out of the session, and he is right in the middle of castle. BSC.
Dodgy and Stevo, that's going to help them a lot. They can both get a very cheap pit stop now.
Yeah, it depends if they get there in time. I think Dodgy will, but I'm almost 100% sure Stevo is going to pit anyway on this lap. But yeah, as Sprightly's car has gone, so as Dodgy continues, surprisingly.
Very surprising.
He's interesting, but we do have our first retirement, a second virtual safety car. As a couple of people, just one person has sped, or two, I have no idea. Colden has sped anyway, and Stevo is in. Take it easy like a Sunday morning into the pits.
Jester
and yeah, as I just saw that, the Stevo is going in. Jester up into the top 2. A mere 18 and a bit seconds behind. Dodgy in first, and Hypers on the back of Colden here. Both will need to make one more stop, and still staying behind. Yellow flag in sector 3 as Russell is retired.
Ooh. Nasty shunt.
Oh, that's right in the apex.
Is that not anything more?
I'm surprised that it's not gone up to a safety car there, but Russell is out. Is his second retirement of the session, and will go on board with Hypers as he's right behind at the moment of Colden. He's looking this way and that, but Colden is staying resolute as a Jester is catching a little bit on Dodgy, but the pace on Dodgy is very good at the moment, and he'll be coming out in a good position. Colden is very slow on the exit, and Hypers is going to gain from that. He's going to go side by side, and he's going to be ahead, and he's made a position just on the traction and on the exit. He's him up into the top 5. And Colden is struggling on those tyres at the moment quite a lot. And yeah, it's Charlie and Dolphin swapping positions. There's Dolphin, I don't know if he's got damage again or not. No, I think it's just a genuine overtake. And I expect Dodgy to stay out. Okay, maybe I wasn't expecting that, but he's going again. And he was 3.5 seconds slower that lap. He was in the 148 as Hypers gets past. Just so you know, Hyper's fastest lap is a 144. And he's probably still in the 144s at the moment. Hyper's up into P4, still needs to make another stop. But he's flying at the moment, and he's going to be coming at the end as Gareth and Colden are in the pits. Baggy's up into P7, and he is hunting down Grumpy Orange, who's yet to pit, and he's on the hard compound tyres. Lofty is 4.5 seconds behind Hypers, so he's in good position at the moment. I think Dodgy's going to try and do softer mediums.
That is a stretch. So he has to make these go till at least lap 16, I believe.
He's got puncture. He's got puncture. He's got puncture. Rear right puncture. There's Dodgy. He's gone too far on the tyres. He's gone way too far on the tyres. It's going to put pay to his race. These tyres are not very durable. As I said, they eat rear tyres for breakfast. And he's going to have to be very careful here, is Dodgy. He's got a rear right puncture, and this is going to put pay to all his good work. He's gone way, way too far on these tyres. And he's doing his best to not spin the car at the moment, but yeah, he's got a rear right puncture. And he is going to...
How he kept that, I do not know.
Oh, Russell has left session, but there's a yellow flag. I don't... Oh, he spun! He spun! He spun, it's a VSC. He spun
Needs to be
round.
incredibly careful.
Jester's up
Dodgy
into the lead.
Reversing onto the racing line.
My word. Oh, what's he doing? What's he doing? What's he doing?
Absolute carnage. Oh,
there's a Haas coming. There's a Haas coming. Oh my word. VSC, so they managed to get out of the way in time. I have no idea what was going. Oh wow. There's Jester pit under the VSC. He's going to go onto hard compound tyres. He's gone for the early stop, and it's probably a good decision too. Maxwell takes the lead of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
So Maxwell has to pit, as does. Okay, so as it stands, Lofty is
banged the wall as well as Dodgy. He's spinning all over the place, and that has been a mad minute for Dodgy. As Cypers almost weaves into the wall as he's trying to warm up his tyres still under VSC. But yeah, that is a lot to digest, Rando.
Indeed it is. I mean, I was about to say, as I hopped on board with Dodgy, I was about to say he should probably pit. He's really struggling on traction. As you come on and say, he's got a puncture, and
Jester's got a drive through.
My word! Oh, he hasn't.
Jester's got a drive through under
coming
VSC.
Out of the pit. Oh no!
Oh, it's very hard to watch your Delta coming out of the pits. It does often get a few drivers, and yeah, he has got a drive through, and that is a big shame for Jester. And he had good work as Hypers is literally pushing Maxwell around. I feel like Hypers is going to two-stop and be fine at the moment, unless he makes a mistake. And Maxwell is putting up another staunch defence. He's putting up the Scottish wall at the moment in the McLaren. And he is staying ahead for now. And he's doing a sterling effort to stay ahead. But I think it's going to be pretty much impossible to keep the Renault behind.
It's going to be imperative that he's smart about this. He's got no need to do anything stupid. It's a long straight here. Use some ERS. And just get past nice and comfortably. Oh, Maxwell isn't making it easy. He is going to go defensive by the looks of things. Not opting to pit.
He's defending. But it's going to be the outside line for Hypers. He's going to go right round the outside. He's going to try to go right round the outside. Maxwell defends on the inside. And he forces him out wide and says, no, you're not coming past today, mate. And he stays in first place. And Maxwell is defending for all it's worth, and he has every right to defend as he is currently leading this Grand Prix, and he's going to try and hold up Hypers as much as he can because he knows he has to stop as well. And Lofty is in a very good position at the moment, 3.5 seconds back.
Indeed he is. He's in a net P1 by roughly 12 seconds, Lofty, the nearest car, so all he has to do is keep it one direction.
Here comes Hypers down the inside. Rando, he's going to try the inside at turn 6. And turn 7 is still side by side, and Maxwell still stays ahead and he's fair but firm from the McLaren driver. And I thought it was going to be easy for Hypers, and Maxwell has proven me wrong. He has got some of the best defensive skills in Division 3, and he's just parking the bus at the moment, and he's pushing him through the castle, and it is unbelievable defensive driving from Maxwell at the moment. And he is stay in first place as Dodgy is in the pits again down in P17. And he's had to do another stop by the looks of it, Rando. As Hypers is very close. He looks like he's going to have the run down into turn 16, and he's going to have the position all side by side as he turns in a bit early, does Maxwell.
Maxwell has 100% ERS near enough. He could go for
a sector 2
to Williams.
Seems like a Williams and a Mercedes by the looks of it. I think Maxwell's going to have to be smart about this and just concede the position for now. He's gaining though. He's gaining, but he's not going to gain enough, and he's turned off the ERS, and he's braking, and Hypers defends, and that's going to ruin his run. Is Maxwell going to have a run back into turn 2? He's not, but he's going to have to stay behind, and he will have the DRS again. That's very early turn-in for Hypers. He's going to have a poor exit as Maxwell puts on the ERS, and he's got the DRS, he's got the slipstream, and he's gaining, and he's going to go pull to the inside. He's going to find himself back into first place. He's going to go down the inside, and Hypers has to settle for P2 once again. Maxwell is back up into the lead of the race, and he is providing us with some entertaining racing, and while Lofty all the while is catching hand over fist as Hypers touches for this way and that. He did get ahead of him briefly. Maxwell has got back ahead of him.
Into the pits again. That's a wing change.
Hypers down the inside again before the castle, and he probably will have to concede the position this time. And surely Hypers will stay in P1, but Maxwell made him work for it quite a bit.
Some staunch defending again. He enjoyed defending at Monaco, got the taste of the champagne, and he was more than willing to do it again. Excellent driving. As you said earlier, firm but fair defending from Maxwell.
Yeah, and he's got Lofty, who will be in the net race lead. Hypers. Did Hypers break his wing?
I thought he did. There was a bit of black end plate on.
No, I did see, and I didn't know. There must have been an old
end plate is black as well, so I jumped on board, but no, just the commentator looking for something there. Nothing to be. Still got his full wing as far as I can tell.
Yes, looks like it. And here comes Lofty. In the slipstream, he's gaining, but he's not gaining enough. Cellular flag in sector 2, and that is...
Oh, someone's crashed the Flying Lemons at Castle.
Lemon.
Oh, no, don't pull out there.
Oh, wow, hello. He came out of nowhere.
Oh, my.
But that's putting back a few positions, to say the least. Lofty is making a move, however. Oh, Maxwell's in the wall, and he's escaped without damage, thankfully. There's a Baggy Fan is still behind Grumpy Orange at the moment, but well clear of Steve-O, and Grumpy Orange still has to pit. So does Maxwell ahead of him. So Maxwell at the moment is on his way for a fight with Baggy Fan and his teammate, by the looks of it, for a podium place.
Indeed, it does. I'm not going to say anything about McLaren's getting podiums. Don't want to jinx anyone. Not even going to say Baggy's going to get a podium.
Gareth in the pits.
Oh, again. That's his third stop now. I think it's going to be another wing change.
Yes, well, Baggy Fan is pushing. Grumpy Orange has pushed Grumpy Orange around a lot. It's Maxwell and Grumpy Orange who have yet to stop yet. As Gareth completes his third stop and he is out of the pit lane.
Unlucky for Gareth there. No wonder Williams are fighting financial issues.
Yeah. So we are approaching half race distance here. And yes, we've now completed 13 laps. We're on lap 14. 50% of the race done. And it's Hypers who leads but does need to stop again. Lofty in the net race lead in P2, 2 and a bit seconds back. And Maxwell and Grumpy Orange in P3 and 4 yet to stop. And here is Baggy Fan in P5. In the DRS he's gaining, but he's not gaining enough on this occasion. He brakes early He knows he has the gap to Steve-O behind, who's losing time. And Grumpy Orange has got good enough pace to pull him away at the moment from Steve-O, so it's smart racing from Baggy Fan because he knows he doesn't want to get in too much of a fight. And he's gaining again. I think he's going to go for the move this time, and Grumpy Orange is not going to fight it, and he doesn't need to. And that's Baggy Fan up into top 4, and he takes the 4th place back, and he finally gets his man.
Baggy currently
as well.
It's a net P2 as it stands.
P2, I think it's going to be touch and go with Hypers though.
He can carry on some good pace. He'll be close, as you say, for P2, possibly for Baggy Fan.
Yeah, I think Hypers is definitely going to have the tyre advantage. So Hypers is, well, at the moment, Hypers going to get a comfortable podium at the moment with Maxwell and Grumpy Orange stopping, and he's going to come out. At the moment, Hypers will come out comfortably ahead of Steve-O. So Hypers has got good pace and probably helped out by the fact that the field has spread out so much at the moment. But yeah, it is Hypers at the moment who is in the lead. And by 3 seconds, he's going to have to stop soon. He has lapped Scott Lake.
Yellow flag. Mercedes has crashed.
Mercedes.
Neelix is facing the wrong way.
Neelix.
Gotta be smart here.
Don't get disqualified. Don't be disqualified. Oh, he's going to bang. He's got no wing at all. Oh no, he does have wing. It looked like he didn't have wing from that shot. He's going very slowly. Grumpy Orange is in the pit, probably preempting a safety car. And Colden is going to have to come. Not Colden. Colden's going to get past his teammate, and Neelix is going to have to come into the pits. Unfortunately, it's a good stint from Neelix, and that has put pay to that completely as Baggy Fan. Steve-O's up into P5, and Jester is pits. No, he hasn't. That is Scott who's pitting as well, as Jester is up into the top 6. But it's a mere 12.5 seconds behind Steve-O, but he's going to try and close down that gap to the end of the race. A little bit of stalemate at the moment, but we're waiting for Maxwell Hypers to pit. And then, yeah, I think Hypers is going to come out probably ahead, or aim to come out ahead of Baggy Fan. I think he's going to come out just ahead of Baggy Fan at the moment, about 19 or 20 seconds for a pit stop around here. So yeah, I think he's gonna comfortably be ahead of Baggy Fan.
I believe this race really has settled down. I'm just looking at some of the gaps. The only close battle on track is, I was going to say it was a large gap. It's Charlie on Grumpy Orange, it's around a second, and Neelix on Gareth. I believe Neelix was pit again for that win
just
change.
Came out. Just behind Gareth. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. Charlie, as you say, behind Grumpy Orange, but Grumpy Orange is just pit, and he's all the way up in P7 with a healthy gap, and he's going to be a long way behind. Oh, excuse me. He's going to be a long way behind Maxwell when he pits, and Maxwell, I reckon, is going to try and extend as much as he can to try and go on the soft compound tyres.
Not only that, but the longer he extends, the more likely a safety car is to occur, which I'm sure he, just looking at some of the incidents we've had, he's probably quite annoyed there hasn't already been a safety car, or at least a VSC that he could have used. Yeah, as you say, he's going to be trying to go on those soft compound tyres, the freshest rubber, to maximise his lap time come the end of the race.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the closing stages, but at the moment I feel like Lofty has got this one in the bag unless there's a safety car. Yeah, Hypers with that early damage has put pay to what could have been a simple victory, it would have seemed, as he's definitely got the pace over everyone at the moment. He'll come out ahead in P4, not P4, in P3, ahead of Baggy Fan. But yeah, he might come out in P2 depending on when Maxwell pits, but they're both staying out at the moment. And I say both staying out at the moment. Maxwell's still yet to come. He's going over to the left, but he's not pitting as he stays going straight. And we'll go back on board with Charlie, and Grumpy Orange has not pulled away from him on the fresh medium tyres. And Charlie is going to try and have a fight as much as he can, doesn't have much ERS. And Grumpy Orange has double what he has, but he uses all of that curb, and that's not going to help him out. It's going to unsettle his run. Scott on the back of Colden as well on the fresher tyres. And we're on board here with SLR Charlie. Has been the star of a couple of wet races so far, China and Monaco. He has certainly been a star in the wet, and he's trying to prove himself in the dry, but he's just following along Grumpy Orange at the moment. Amazingly, Rando's only Scott Laney who has a time penalty for track limits, and Scott has...
Colden Scott going out right now.
Yeah, Scott has used that DRS and slipstream and ERS to full effect up into the top 10. He's going to set his sights on his teammate Dolphin, who is on old tyres and will be struggling towards the end of this race, as Colden is outside the points now, and he will try his best to see if there's any avenue that he can get himself back into the points, but it doesn't look likely at the moment, and he has to settle for P11. So we see if Hypers will come into the pits this lap. We'll have to wait and see, as Jay Geddes and a Flying Lemon going at it behind, not behind, but ahead of Hypers at the moment. Hypers stays out. Let's go on board with Maxwell, as he's a lot further back, and Bagafan is closing in quite a lot on Maxwell at the moment. There's looks like Maxwell is going to pit, and he will pit, and is very slow, but we'll see where he comes out, and that means Bagafan is into the podium place. And if I say it quiet enough, they probably won't hear, but Steve-O is in P4.
Oh, he is indeed. Two McLaren boys. P4.
Oh, he's got his teammate right behind him, so
yeah,
it's
on fresh tyres
quite soon. And then there's Jester as well, who is quite close. And Steve-O is doing the gentlemanly thing and let him go straight away and says, "There you go, mate. Let's go attack Baggy-Fan on the hards and try and get this podium place," as Gareth picks up a time penalty. Jester's doing well, he's had in the wars this race. He was involved in the incident on the opening lap at turn 2. Then he got a drive through under VSC. Now he's charging after Steve-O's to get to top 5 finish. And yeah, it's going to be a battle. You think the battle will be between Baggy-Fan and Maxwell for the podium, and possibly Jester will try and get in the mix. Wait and see, but yeah, all eyes on Baggy-Fan versus Maxwell for now. And will Steve-O hold up Jester, or how much will he hold up Jester? We'll wait and
can't
see.
see it being very much.
Yeah. No,
Although
he's
to be
almost
fair,
in DRS already.
does have 100% ERS. Was old Steve-O. I think Hyper is going to come out P2 pretty comfortably onto the softs as well. So, I mean, Lofty
on for the
looks
charge,
like
then yeah.
he's got this wrapped up. I can't see Hyper's gaining 16 odd seconds in 7 laps. Oh no, it's only 12 seconds actually. If you get to move
He's
on.
done this before. I said
Yellow flag sector 1. It's a Red Bull and a Ferrari.
Yeah, that is. It's not Baggy-Fan in the wall. Don't worry. It's Baggy-Fan lapping a car. Baggy-Fan has lapped a car, ladies and gentlemen. I don't mean to be rude today, but I don't think many times in his career has he lapped a car, and he has lapped Scott Laney, and he is 8 seconds clear of Maxwell, who was on the charge himself. Colden and Dodgy going at it, but Dodgy's already made the move. Colden is down into P12 now. It's not been a good afternoon, evening for the Mercedes drivers, as the Renault boys are going to pull further clear in the championship as it stands, and they're going to take a hefty chunk, going to be in a hefty lead come the checkered flag, unless this last portion of the race has anything to change. But Maxwell is gaining a lot of time at the moment on Baggy-Fan, And looks like Scott Laney's going to get out of the way very early on, and he is out of the way. And yellow flag in sector 2 behind. But I think that was just for
Laney getting out of the way, I think.
Laney, as Dolphin looks like he's let past his teammate Scott. He's up
Again,
into
that's Laney getting out
a
of the
bit
way.
awkward. Yes, it is.
The Jester on Steve-O. 6/10 gap. Steve-O with 20% more ERS. Interesting to see what happens here. I can't imagine Steve-O is going to fight too hard as he gets a bit squirmy. I just can see Jester rinsing his ERS. They're both
using
rinsing
ERS. Steve-O is going to defend for all it's worth. He's going to help his teammate out here, but his teammate's already 5 seconds down the road. He's going to defend to the inside as Steve-O. Jester's going to try and go right round the outside. And Steve-O shows him the door, and the door is still ajar at the moment. As the yellow flag in sector 3, as that's a guy in the pits, Scott Laney. Oh, Steve-O almost in the wall. I thought he was going to be in the wall there. But that is Jester past and up into P5. There's Dolphin pits. And
Hypers could win
Dolphin
this.
is back up to P11. I think he could. He's done this before in Vietnam. Oh, he didn't think he was going to win. It was a last lap lunge there, but we'll have to wait and see.
That.
I think Maxwell. They're going to have to be careful on the tyres because obviously you know what happened to Dodgy. So yeah, we'll see.
Oh, Baggy might have just hit the wall. I can't see any damage, but it
hasn't got
looked like
damage. He hasn't got damage, but yeah, he's
had a little conversation.
Sector 1. That is an
that's
Alpha
a crash.
Tauri.
That's actually a crash, I believe.
That is Dolphin.
He's face first into the wall.
Oh, he's in the wall.
Ooh. VSC!
VSC.
Neutralising the race. Getting us excited
VSC.
for a safety car, but no.
Yeah, safety car's out of fuel, I think, at the moment.
But Moyland has gone on holiday. Oh, we
Looks
just...
like it. Lofty is well, this is going to help out the hard runners of. I'm about to say the hard runners, yeah. The hard runners, yeah.
Yeah, mate,
The geezers on the yards.
Yeah, it's geese talk, geese talk.
Be careful not to speed under VSC. Obviously, Jester did that before. And yeah, this is going to help out Lofty and Baggy Fan on the hards because they've got 2 charging drivers on the soft compound tyres coming at them. And DRS enabled.
No
maybe
drive.
sped.
That's good.
Jester's in the pits. Okay, that is interesting. I think. Oh,
It's not even for a wing
surprised, actually.
change. He's gone onto the soft tyres.
Yeah, Charlie up the inside, Grumpy Orange around the outside. Oh, that's very deep. Oh, it's lucky to keep it out of the wall there. Yellow flag in sector 2, but that's Scott Laney getting out of the way, and he's been lapped by a lot of drivers now.
Jester pit?
Jester's. That is a bizarre
I am
strategy
perplexed.
call.
Absolutely perplexed. I'm not quite sure why
But
he's
the
been there.
McLarens at the moment, I say P4 and 5. I mean, could be a podium. There could be 2 top 5 finishers comfortably at the moment as Charlie is fighting Grumpy Orange and is quicker than Grumpy Orange. I don't know if he has damage. He doesn't have damage, but Charlie on 14 lap old hards is absolutely flying. Compared to Grumpy Orange on 5 lap old medium somehow, but Jester's going to come at them, but Jester's probably only going to get P6.
Hypers is actually making us look stupid. The gap when it was VSC 6 seconds, now 3.7 seconds. Absolutely flying.
Good for a cheeky toe as well on 2 people coming into the pit lane.
Hasn't got much ERS though.
And Scott Laney. Scott Laney's in the pits once again, and yeah, he's a long way back. A lap down from everyone, I think, as Dodgy and Scott side by side. I think actually ahead. So
Every traction zone.
It's
He's
pretty
just
pointless.
gained 3/10 in a traction zone. It's out of turn 2. I reckon that this
Yeah, I
could be a
think,
fight for the lead come the end of the race.
the only thing that Lofty's got in his favour is the ERS. But we'll have to see on the tyres. It's all on the tyres for these soft compound tyre runners. Jester should be fine to the end of the Grand Prix. It's just whether Hypers and Maxwell will be fine themselves.
Am I wrong
but
in
yeah,
thinking this is very similar to what happened in Vietnam in terms of
This
Hypers
is
being in a dominant
very
position, breaks his wing, pits, 2-stop strategy,
well, he wasn't really.
chasing?
He started P11, did Hypers in Vietnam, and won the race, but he was, I think it was a safety car, and he decided to two-stop, or do another for a two-stop on the safety car instead of the one-stop like everyone else was, and then got the move done on the final lap. Scott Laney's picked up another time penalty that has gone horribly wrong. Tonight for Scott Laney, lap down on everyone, bar Dolphin, and he's got out of the way of Dolphin, and he's crashed, I think.
Yeah, he's broken his VSC again.
It's another VSC again. Maxwell, actually, oh my god, Scott Laney is... Maxwell is right behind Baggy Fan.
This is going to help the hard runners, of course. Neutralising the race. Going to be stressful for a few of these drivers not to pick up a drive-through.
Another VSC.
Steve-O was stopped. Steve-O just is stopped on track. He's in neutral. He's reversing. What?
What is Steve-O doing? What has Steve-O done? What has Steve-O done? Steve-O!
Oh, I'm so
back on board with
confused.
Maxwell. He's gaining. Well, I don't know what Steve-O's done, but he's going to lose a position to Charlie and Grumpy Orange and Jester at this rate. So Jester pitting has probably helped him out, but Maxwell is up into the podium pace
Charlie's
once again. Yellow flag
shunted the wall.
3. Charlie's in the wall.
And
here comes the gaggle of cars. It's a Haas versus a Williams versus a Renault, and they're 3 wide across the along the straight, and Jester's going to have 2 for the price of 1 here. Oh, they're squeezing all into turn 1, but Jester makes the move, and he has had a double overtake, and he is up into the top 6 once again, and he is not far off as yellow flag again, and that is Scott Laney.
Hypers 2.2 seconds, 3 laps. No ERS though. Lofty. Look at that, 60% ERS.
Scott Laney's retired.
Hypers is 10. You can see him now though. Often as a driver it helps to see who you're chasing down, and Hypers can now see Lofty coming out of the real last corner, the last actual traction zone.
Steve-O's really struggling. Yeah, Hypers, I think this Hypers is gone under control. The VSC is going to help them on the tyres. Tyres are going to be old, haven't said that. So there's still chances here for Baggy and Lofty come the end of the race. The yellow flag is sector 1. That is a flying lemon.
He's just stopped on track. He must have lost. Must have spun or something.
Yeah, I reckon he spun down at turn 1, and Hypers and Lofty got past. It's just as very close to Steve. I think this is going to be pretty much inevitable. Steve-O has got a lot of ERS, having said that, and the last time this happened, Steve-O used a lot of his ERS. Oof, my word. Oh, Steve-O, oh my god, there's a crash. Oh, Jester's hit the back of Steve-O.
Oh
Jester,
no!
I think, has hit the back of Steve-O and lost his wing, and here comes Grumpy Orange gaining on the pair of them. He's gaining, but he hasn't got a lot of ERS. Jester's coming back at Steve-O. He's going to pull to the inside, and he's going to be ahead into the braking zone, and he is up into the top 5. As here comes Grumpy Orange as well, trying to get in on the act himself. As Jester definitely smacked the back of Steve-O. Steve-O's going a little bit slower than he would have thought, and that got a bit interesting. But Steve-O going to come back at the Renault. He's going to try, and he's going to look for the outside. Maybe the inside is Steve-O.
The man on a mission just took 2 tenths out of Lofty in the penultimate traction zone. He's tantalisingly close to that DRS.
Scott with the fastest lap as well. And Hypers then, this is when they cross the line. He'll have 2 laps to have a go, and the tyres will now start to fade a little bit, as Maxwell will probably be thinking that as well. As Steve-O was in a comfortable P5 and then reversing under VSC. I'm not quite sure what he was doing. He's probably trying to slow down for his delta, but I don't know why he went that slow, because he was miles ahead. He lost all that time. But yeah, he's now under pressure from Grumpy Orange. And Grumpy Orange.
His ERS now. Only 20% for Lofty. Hyper's absolutely nothing. It's going to be close whether Hyper's going to have the DRS come the back straight for the last time.
It is. Start to get your driver of the day predictions. Charlie has crashed.
Oh, yeah, crashed.
And that promotes. As a flying lemon has crashed as well, so 2 have crashed. That brings up to you 5 DNFs as we were probably expecting, as Stevo is gaining in DRS. So maybe a still chance for P5 for Stevo here. Can he overtake last week's race winner Jester? Surely not. But that is very close.
Hypers with it in DRS.
DRS
he knows he's been consistently quicker at the end of Sector 2. Has Hypers. It looks as if he's going to have the DRS coming onto the final lap.
He is within DRS range, is Hypers. As we're on lap 25.
Sorry, here's a question for you, Mercs. Your Hypers, do you go for the move now, or do you wait until... Oh, he's at the wall! Oof.
Who's in the wall?
Hypers.
He's in the wall again.
Yeah.
Hypers just lost his wing.
Oh, yeah,
in the
never
middle
mind,
of the straight.
Don't worry. Anything I'm just going to say about do you overtake him now or later?
So you overtake on now, but he might have just handed Lofty the win here, courtesy of, well, losing it. As I said, the tyres were going to be a
He's not actually losing time, to be fair.
And at the moment, Stevo still behind Jester.
Oh, and Lofty can now cruise home. 11% ERS. He's going to be tantalisingly close come the end of Sector 2 is where this damage is really going to hurt him. So I doubt he'll even have DRS on the back straight. Driver of the day.
Very close. There's a train behind. Yeah, driver of the day votes continue to get them in. There's going to be a big train at the back here, and that is going to have Dodgy right at the back. He, well, hasn't had the greatest of races as Dodgy. As you can see them crossing each other, they go parallel to each other. And here comes Dodgy in the slipstream. And we'll go back on board with the battle for the lead soon. But Dodgy's going to gain
consistently quicker. What is this? Got wing damage and he's gained bloody 2
Dodgy's going to go down the inside. Oh, that was a very narrow entry into there. But we'll go back on board with the front and leave that battle to the end. Lofty in the lead at the moment as it's going to come down to the final DRS zone.
I'll tell you what,
and at the moment,
Lofty only has 10% more ERS.
Is that going to be enough as they exit the turn 16? Through 17 they go, and now through 18 and 19 it's going to be a grandstand finish here. How much can Hypers gain? I don't think it's going to be enough as he defends for all his might. Does Lofty. He's going to come up towards the line and he's going to take victory here in Azerbaijan and win the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, and Hypers has to settle for second place. A long way back is Maxwell, and he is going to try, as long as he completes his final 4 corners, he will have 2 podiums in a row.
Yellow flag sector 2.
I think there's been a crash down at the castle, possibly between Grumpy Orange and Dodgy, or Grumpy Orange has crashed. So that should be fine for Stevo to stay in P6. Maxwell's going to come up towards the line.
He's my driver of the day.
He's going to take his 2nd podium in a row, and Maxwell
drive of the day for me. What a drive! What a drive!
13th on the grid, comes home in P3 to take a 2nd podium in a row. Baggy Fan started 5th, finishes 4th, and that is a very good result from Baggy Fan. Finally gets the race he wanted. And
Stevo P6 if he can hold on to it as well.
Stevo's going to gain. He's going to gain, is he? He's
is
going
he?
to open his ERS. He's going to fight Jester towards the line, but Jester's going to be in P5. Stevo P6, a very good performance from the McLaren boys. It's a 3rd and a 6th. As Dodgy and Grumpy Orange side by side towards the line. Dodgy just takes Grumpy Orange on the line. And the slipstream in full effect. One of them does it. As Dodgy takes P7, Grumpy Orange in P8. Skolden in the end finishes P9 with Neelix in P10, and Gareth drops down to P12. Scott in 11th, overtaking Gareth as well. Geddes in P14 and Dolphin P15 after being lapped, and Callum will now come up towards the line, and it was, well, a grandstand finish in the end, but it's Lofty who takes the win here in Azerbaijan.
What a race. The game saying drive of the day, Maxwell. Yeah, not me dropping my controller. Yeah, anyway, the game saying drive of the day, Maxwell. And yeah, I haven't seen anyone that hasn't, to be fair. What a drive. And what a race. Hypers, and I don't mean to be mean when I say this, he lost himself that race twice, I would say personally, just going off his raw pace. Or at least he made his life so much harder by. So he lost his wing early doors about lap 8, I believe, and then he lost it again when he was within a second with 2 laps to go on much fresher and faster tyres. So hypers his race, but what a drive from Lofty and Maxwell, our other 2 podium sitters. Incredible scenes. Incredible scenes.
Yeah. I'll run you through our results here. It's Lofty who wins just about by just under 0.6 of a second. The front 2 swap over. Lofty wins ahead of Hypers in P2. Maxwell, second podium in a row, and it is in P3. Baggyfan comes home in a brilliant P4, and he will be very happy with that indeed. Jester, P5 in the end after stopping again when he could have possibly challenged for a top 4. And Steve-O has to settle for P6 in the end when he could have had a bit more than that himself. A dodgy P7, Grumpy Orange P8, Colin P9, Neelix P10, and the rest you can see as I'm running out of time. Can you get the top 3 of Lofty, Hypers, and Maxwell into the podium, please?
I can indeed, my good sir. So, are you going to agree with everyone for your drive of the day?
It looks like Maxwell's got drive of the day.
Maxwell's joined.
But yeah, we'll see. Yeah,
Easier if they appeared online.
I would agree. So yeah, but continue to get your votes if you haven't voted already. Seems to be between Maxwell and Baggy for driver of the day.
Invites have been sent.
Only Maxwell has joined us. Yes, there's Lofty, and we just wait for Hypers to join.
Here he is.
And there he is. How do you want to do the interviews?
I don't mind, mate. I'll take second or first or third. Not you.
If you do third and second, then I'll do first.
Sounds spiffing.
Yeah. So, yeah. Before that you start, make sure you all tick your box in the party chat, and then we can get underway.
Affirmative.
Alrighty, Mr. Maxwell, double podiums, back to back, staunch defending in both races. As an ex-McLaren driver, I can say loudly, I'm proud of you, Maxwell. What a performance for P3. Just take me through it in your own words.
I was going to say, I was hoping you're either going to be a proud dad or a proud uncle after that. It was an interesting one, as I say. I never felt really too confident after practice or quali. I just felt like I'm hitting the walls constantly. This is brutal. Changed my setup like literally in that last practice session to just something that was stable, that wasn't fast. The start of the race was just mad. Like, there was chaos, and then I'm like, Steve-O, why are we 5th and 6th? It was weird. And then after that, it was just a case of manage the tyres, know who you're racing against. Obviously, watching the race earlier on and last night, you get an idea about the tyre strats that are around about here, and then just trying to stare at them all, basically. So it was ideal. I never get any race expecting a podium, so I always get one's a nice wee surprise.
You drove an excellent race, mate. Again, we saw some excellent defending against Hypers. You're actually in the party now. Yeah, and you went back for the move, and yeah, I mean, would you ever have expected start of this SLR season to, by the end of round 8, have 2 podiums to your name back to back, round 2 of the trickiest circuits on the calendar? I mean, what a season so far for you.
Yeah, mate, I'm happy with a top 10 any race. You know, any sort of points is fine. As I said there at the start of the season, that was always the aim. If I can get a top 10 here or there, perfect. But it's just a case of, George Russell actually put it best, there's going to be opportunities and you just need to take them. And that's what I'll just try and put myself in a position where if an opportunity pops up, so like if there was a late safety car here, I would have been jamming. So it's just try to put myself in a good position and just try to drive with no pressure, really. That's it as well. So it's been a great season so far, but yeah, I can't argue with that at all.
No, very well done indeed.
Can I interrupt you, Rando?
By all
briefly?
means.
Maxwell, we talked on Thursday, and you weren't very excited. You weren't expecting to have the same result. So I think you proved yourself wrong. I just want to congratulate you on that third place.
Cheers, buddy, man. Much appreciated, man.
With a tear in my eye, I must move on. Well done again.
Thanks, guys.
Hypers. Well, I haven't done the podium interviews, but when I've watched them, I've seen you here a lot. Making yourself a permanent resident of the SLR streaming post-race party. Another incredible performance, getting through on the mediums. Very well driven all race. Broke your wing a few times, making Cyril foot the bill for those. But P2, how do you feel?
Yeah, it was a good race. I think with the wing damage early on, I think obviously with the lobby restart, I lost a bit of my advantage because my mediums would have gone a little bit longer than their used soft. I think a few people in the top had a couple laps on their softs, so it would have given me an extra couple laps on them. But yeah, the damage was, it's a silly mistake losing your wing. I think I bounced through Castle. I think I hit both walls. Luckily, didn't get a terminal. But then I knew coming back out on the softs at the end, I'd need to really push, and I got caught in Lofty. I would have had him on the last lap, but I got in his dirty air. My tyres went off round the final two turns, and I just spiked it into the wall. And I just didn't have enough to get back.
It probably wasn't the result you wanted, given that you could see first literally half a second away at one point, I think it was, but I don't think you can leave here disappointed. You've driven an incredible drive, similar to Vietnam, we were noting. I'm not sure if it felt the same to you, chasing down someone on the softs at the end.
Yeah, just sweaty. Both were very sweaty times, and I'm very sweaty now.
Mercs, anything to say?
No, I thought it was going to be a Vietnam all over again, but not this time. But yeah, we'll still gave us some entertainment. So yeah, good racing once again.
Yeah, cheers, guys, and well done to the other podium finishers as well, and the rest of the grid for actually the ones that finished. It's not an easy track to finish on.
Yes. So then we move on to our race winner, and that is Lofty, back on the top step. I believe that is the second time this season. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
But I mean, yeah. So I think that's Bahrain was the other one. I believe that you won.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, it must feel nice to be back on the top step, and yeah, you're under pressure for a lot of that race, but you had enough pace in the end, and I think your ERS management was probably the most crucial part about that, and obviously keeping out of the wall. But I have to say, well done on another win. And how does that feel?
Yeah, it's good. Thanks a lot, and well done to everyone and the other guys that finished on the podium. It's not the greatest track to go around with those walls everywhere, but took my medicine, took my damage, and kept my head down and just tried to put the laps in.
How was it at the end with Hypers putting on their softs and chasing you down?
I knew I had to kind of stick with him when he was on the mediums to give myself the best opportunity to get the gap big enough, and then it was just trying to manage the gap, the tyres and the ERS at the end. I knew I had basically a 2-lap dash to just give it everything and drain the tyres and the ERS, and it luckily paid off.
Yes, you got ahead in the end. And just ahead in the end, and yeah, held on for the first place and back on the top step. So I have to say, well done, and hopefully there's more to come this season.
Yeah, hopefully. Good racing by everyone.
Yeah. So Randa, you got anything else to add from this evening's viewing?
No, I'd just like to say well done to all of you. You put on a show. Congratulations for, as Hyper said, it's not an easy track to finish. Congratulations to you guys for finishing bloody well. Yeah. Hopefully you enjoy Canada more than Baku, really. I mean, Baku was pretty shocking. Me and Mercs, I heard we're incredibly excited for Baku tomorrow, aren't we, Mercs? So happy. So happy. Anyway, yeah, well done.
Mm.
Thank you very much for letting me bomb over you. Replacing Rigsy,
Yeah.
one-time deal.
It's nice. Well, yes. Well, yeah, I will. I'll be with you tomorrow, of course. But that'll be all, folks. Lofty takes the victory here in Division 3 from Hypers and then from Maxwell. We are not done at Baku just yet. Tomorrow night at 7 PM, GMT will be the Elite Division where you can see me and Rando in the Red Bull. Try our best to get some points for once. I mean, yes, Rando got 1 point. Get more points. The Red Bull squad and all the other great drivers there are in the Elite Division. I hope you've enjoyed this Division 3 race. I certainly did, and I know Rando did too. And we'll see you all again soon. Good night.
Dun dun dun. Dun 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 dun.
Yeah, well done, guys.
Might be playing.
Uh.